Hello, Cancer. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main read, I'm using the Telematero. I believe the H is silent. One day I will look at that website. There's the other side of the box. In case you would like it, it is by Renata Lechner. There's what that looks like. That's how you spell her name, in case you want to see it. And for the support of Oracle cards, the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Okay. Now, I've already shuffled. Relationship first, single second. Okay. You got the Knight of Wands at the bottom. So I'm feeling like that feels like quick action to me. All right, the last one came out with. It seems to be reinforcing the Knight of Wands. Wands. There we go. But you got glamour. Now, glamour means different things to certain people, I realize. But when I think of glamour, it's kind of like a false front. It's kind of like showing off, showing like you have more than you actually have to impress other people. That's what glamour usually connects with me when it comes to reading anyway, in this card. Because, you know, you got the expensive shoe there, you got the bubbly going on there. Just as a schwanky time if you want. And I feel like the Knight of Wands with it makes me think something's coming fast. Something's going quick here. It's connected with your partner. Because the challenge card is their challenge card anyway. Is the Ace of Swords. Quick communication. Quick things. Like, this is coming in quick. Something seems better than it actually is. And it's coming towards them. Now, I'm getting it's happening quick. It's coming towards them. They are really excited. They got the Star card. Like, they really want this. And they're very excited. They got the energy right next to it. This seems to be what's kicking this off. They're excited. They want to move forward. They got a lot of hope about it. There's a lot. It's coming fast, and they're really amped up about it. But they need your approval for whatever reason, because it's not only affecting them, it's affecting you. I'm getting it comes towards you, and you're just like, wait a minute. You got the King of Pentacles. You're like, wait a minute. I should I think that came off wrong. They're coming towards you, and you're like, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Explain to me what's happening here. Explain to me what you're so excited about. And I feel like they're going like a mile a minute explaining this is how it feels. But I feel like you see all the holes in the situation. I feel like you see all of them. Like, all of them. I don't know why it's coming that way, but I feel like you're like, oh boy. You're like, that sounds too good to be true, and I don't think that's a good idea. I'm getting you don't want to back this. And you're like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. And I'm getting your partner seems to be trusting you because spiritually your partner has the Page of Pentacles. You have the King of Pentacles. I feel like you're the one stopping the show. And you're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't think that, no. That doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound good to me. Your partner, in the spiritual sense, has the Page of Pentacles. I'm feeling that your partner wants to still go forward very badly, but I feel also very much feels that you know what you're talking about. And I feel like they're looking at you like you see something they don't, but I feel like they still want to go forward and they're having a hard time with it. But I do see you, I feel you're putting the brakes on it. You're just like, no, I don't think so. No. I just keep that no energy. Now, I do also see you trying to negotiate slightly. And what I'm getting is like, I feel like you're trying to give a little bit to the situation because you see the excitement your partner has. You're trying to give into it a little bit, whatever that means to you. Because I got the Nine of Wands, and you're just like, you know what, instead of going full board, how about we just, you know, you're like 10% in. Like, let's go 10% in, not 100% in. Let's go 10% in on this, just to see where it goes. And if it builds, and if it seems to be flourishing, we can renegotiate and look at it again later. I don't feel like your partner's really, like, excited about that thought, and I feel like they're pushing, like, no, we got to go full board, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, no, I don't think this is a good idea. I'm willing to do 10%. We can go 10% in and see where it goes, and if it goes well, we can look at it again. And I feel like that's your challenge card, actually, is the Knight of Wands. Kind of like, you know what, I'll give some to this. We can get a little bit into this, but we're not going full board. Forget it. No. It's either 10% or nothing. I'll go 10%, whatever that means for you. Like, I feel like you're not willing to go all in. You're just like, no. I just keep, at your side, I constantly feel, nope. Because what I'm getting is, if you're, because that is your challenge card, to give in a little bit just to appease your partner, I'm getting, this is you working with your partner, because I'm getting the Three of Pentacles. Like, you're willing to work it out, you're willing to try to honor them. You're like, you know what, if it goes better than I think it's gonna, alright, we could look at it again. But for right now, 10%, that's it. That's max. Forget it. That's it. Either that or nothing. We're not going full board. I will not do it. Your partner, I'm getting your partner is realizing it. Like, this seems to be down the road. I feel like this is not working. Whatever the situation is, because it's the glamour, I don't feel like it was exactly what your partner thought it was. Because I'm getting the Three of Swords, like, I'm getting they're very kind of, I feel like they're embarrassed, to be honest. And it kind of fell through, and I feel like they're kind of a little, I feel like they feel embarrassed. They might need a little extra TLC. Because I feel like that's part of your, like, if this reading is hitting with you, I feel like that's one of your strong suits in this relationship, to be that voice of responsibility when it comes to these type of things. Just in the sense about, you know, that's too much money, that's too much of a risk, whatever it was, too much of a risk, we're not doing that. We can start slightly. If it goes well, okay, we'll look at it again, but we're not going to jump full board into this. And I feel like that's your strength in this relationship, to be like that voice of sanity, like, okay, I know you're excited, but let's just calm down a little bit and think about this. We can start slow, and if it goes well, great, but I'm not jumping full board into this. We're not doing it. I'm getting you were right, and I feel like that's why your partner feels embarrassed. Because they were really excited. They might have said some things that were a little over the line, pushing the issue, trying to get what they wanted, and then they realized that you were right. But I also feel like they're looking at this like they wish they could be stronger or look at things more rationally the way you seem to be doing at this point. So I feel like that's another reason they're embarrassed, because they'd like to be able to do that. They just can't seem to have that grasp on the situation the same way you are. At least in this moment anyway. Now, spiritually, I'm getting you have the Temperance card with the confidence. Like, I feel like you have, for whatever the situation is, you have all the patience in the world. You're not budging. You're only going so far. If it looks better, great. If it doesn't, then, you know, we're walking away. And I feel like you're expecting your partner to see you are right. You're completely expecting that, and I'm getting over time, that is what happens. Because I'm feeling like the way you're looking at this situation, you're just like, no. I just keep getting that over and over again. Like, the way you're viewing it is in contrast to your partner. Your partner's like, yes, and you're just like, oh, no. And I feel like you're almost looking at it like that makes, to you it makes no sense why it would even be a possibility. So because I feel like you have a very strong contrast to your partner. Like, to you, it just looks like a bad idea. To your partner, it seems like the best thing they've come across in a long time. So when it does, like, you have no reservations about waiting it out. You're going to stick to your position. You're going to stay right there. And you're very confident, long run, it's going to show that you were right. I do feel like you have a handle or a strong footing in some part of this situation. I don't know if it's somebody that's like connected to it, because for some of you, I'm really getting like there's somebody your partner is dealing with that you're like, that person is just bad news. and your partner doesn't seem to connect with that person, doesn't seem to see that person the same way you see that person, and you're just like, oh, not with what's his face there, nope, her there, he, she, them, whatever, not with that person. No, that can't go well. I feel like you're looking at it like, no, not if so and so's involved. No, I don't see that going well. But I do see, like, not to downplay this, I do realize, though, even though you're saying no and you're holding strong to that, like you're like 10%, that's max, you do have the Ten of Wands. It's not easy for you to tell your partner no. It's not like a walk in the park. I mean, they have a lot of pressure coming towards you, but it doesn't make you feel good to block your partner or tell them no. It's not something you look forward to. You would prefer that they saw things the way you did in the situation, or maybe a better situation would come forward and then that you could say yes to. You would prefer that. You don't want to say no. You feel like you have to say no. And you will stand your ground, I get that. But it's not, I wouldn't say it was like a walk through the park. Like, it does have its stress with it, because you do realize your partner's disappointed and you don't want that. On the other side, just to, balance things out, your partner does have the King of Cups. Your partner loves you unconditionally, from what I feel. And I feel like this is another reason they're coming towards you, because they do kind of depend on you to see things differently, to have that rational view. But I also feel like they can be very disappointed, because when they can't convince you of something, I feel like they think it's their shortcoming that they can't, but then when the long term comes around and they realize there's a good reason they couldn't, convince you to go forward with this, I feel like that's, like, again, the embarrassment, but that's part of, like, the strength of this relationship. Like, I feel like they depend on you to have this voice of sanity. I almost feel like this might be characteristic of your partner, just to get a little bit out of control or taken away with a situation, caught up in a situation. And I feel like they do really appreciate and love this about you, that you're able to stop them from making big mistakes. It's just, I feel like they're also, another reason they're embarrassed is because they know they're difficult to deal with when they really want something, and they're very passionate about it, but their love for you is definitely unwavering. Like, it's weird. I feel like they appreciate you after the fact, but they think you're a pain in the butt during the situation. Not that you would be shocked with that, but, like, because you're so strong and you're blocking them, they're like, you're a pain in the butt. But then after the fact, and it turns out you were right, they're thankful. You know what I mean? They very much appreciate it, but I also see that they're very embarrassed. I'm getting, again, very embarrassed with a lot of love towards you, because I feel like they kind of look back at it like, they could have handled that better. Like, I feel like they have some regrets about how they handled it, and they wish that they had more of a stable mindset, and that they just trusted you a little more and didn't give you so much pushback. Now, I do want to say, this kind of feels like where this is going to finally end out. And it does feel, with this situation, and it does feel kind of like what makes things better, but where this should, play out with this situation. Because I'm getting the Four of Wands. You're very secure. You're very dependable. You're very happy with your relationship. I don't feel like you're holding any type of animosity here. I just feel like you're feeling very confident. Like, sometimes I got to stand my ground, and I did what I was supposed to do, and this worked out, and we're both in a better position because of it. Your partner has 3 cards. One of them is the Ten of Cups. They're very much in love with you. Everything is working out a lot better because you stopped the situation, and they do see that. I also see, though, the Four of Cups here with it, because I feel like they're disappointed that the situation still didn't work out. But I feel like there's a kind of a warped view of the situation. Not that but somehow, like, the situation could have been tailored a little differently to work out, but like technicalities or something, I don't know. I feel like there's a warped view. Like, they wish that something just played out a little differently with the opportunity, so that the opportunity did pan out. See, because I'm getting, like, there's a little bit of regret, a little bit of unhappiness. They're feeling like they dropped the ball on the situation as it was. That Four of Cups has to do with the situation. But you know what? I feel like there's a person there that they're looking at, and that last cup is a person. And I feel like that somebody just led them astray again, and I feel like the word again really is important there. And I feel like that's kind of the Four of Cups. Like, they're very happy with you. Ten of Cups energy comes towards you. Four of Cups is over to the side because I feel like this is someone else who seems to be pressuring them or like brings strong communication towards them. And I feel like they're disappointed in how they seem to fall for this person. Not fall for them like, you know, but fall for like what they say, fall for what they're like. This other person gets very excited and, you know, half-baked with their ideas, but presents them in a way that your partner gets very excited, and I feel like that's what they're disappointed in. That they should know better when it comes to at least this person. They should know better. Not that this person has an intention to throw them off, from what I can see, it's a general reading, but the fact that they do that. And they and they're like, even though that person might be completely confident in what they're saying, doesn't mean they're right, and it turns out usually they're wrong. I'm getting that Four of Cups. It's talking. The Ten of Cups is for you. The Four of Cups is for somebody else, because this is what's helping the situation. I feel like they're seeing somebody for the flaws that they have. And it might not be intentional flaws. It just might be one of those things where they really need to connect and realize, you know, so-and-so makes bad decisions, and when so-and-so gets excited about bad decisions and inspires them to join them in the bad decision, it makes it even worse. Because everything is okay. Because I don't feel like there's any type of discord between you, your partner, or this other element. We're just going to call this person an element at this point. But I also feel like your partner really is taking a hard look at this, and like, I feel like they're upset also. This is another part of the being ashamed, I feel, because I feel like especially at this point at the end, they're really looking at this like they should have known better, and that they shouldn't have put so much faith in somebody who constantly makes bad decisions, because they were following somebody else who makes bad decisions, and they would have made the bad decision also themselves if you didn't stop them. And I feel like that's where that Four of Cups is, because it's like they're disappointed that they keep falling for something that they really, really should know better at this point. And they feel like that's how they're feeling towards themselves. Like, how do I not know better? How do I get caught up in this every time? So I feel like that's just, they're trying to make a point that your partner does see that at the end. And it does weigh heavily on them. I feel like there's it feels like blind devotion towards somebody. I don't know if it's a friend or relative, but there's somebody they want to have faith in. It has nothing to do with romance. Like, there's nothing challenging you that I see, so I don't feel like it's like anything like that. But they have blind faith in somebody, and I feel like they're realizing they do, and they're not liking it. But it seems to be, it's rough, because I feel like this is another part of that embarrassment, because I'm thinking you probably have pointed this out before. And you're probably sitting there looking at your partner like, how does this happen every time? I tell you every time when so-and-so's involved, it's probably going to go bad. And you seem to agree with me at the time, but then something else comes around. Like, how does this keep happening? So I feel like that's a part of it, because you are right. You've said it before. They just seem to have blind faith in this person. They can't seem to help themselves, and they're really disappointed in that too. But it's starting to sink in. I don't feel like that's done, but they're getting closer to like moving forward or rectifying or dealing with that, so they stop doing that pattern. The majority of them aren't done with that pattern yet. Maybe you'll get lucky and you'll have one of the partners that is over that partner and over the pattern and gonna solve it, but majority of them, I don't feel like they're at that point yet. They're getting to that point, though. Alright, I think we're good here. Let's go to Cancer singles. What do we have for Cancer singles? Messages for Cancer singles. Messages for Cancer singles. Messages for Cancer singles. What do we got here for Cancer singles? Empowering information to help them see what's really happening, to help them make decisions that align them with what they want, and help them move forward the way they would like to go in life. Romance. Single Cancer. Alright, we're going to definitely do the other deck. There's a really good card here, but what's going on around the situation, it has me wondering where this is going. Because you have one really good card in the center that's very, very strong, but there's a lot of other influences going on around it, so I'm wondering where this is going to go. You have a lot of detractor cards, I would say. Three at the end. Okay. I'm going to start right with the center. And I'm going to warn you, it looks really good, but I'm not convinced it's going to play out as good as it looks just to start with. You got the Lovers, but you got the Queen of Cups. Now, I'm getting, like, the Queen of Cups normally, especially in a love read, is usually pretty good. But this one, I feel like the Lovers, it's there, but there's a hitch here. There's a hitch. There's a problem here, and I'm getting the Queen of Cups is really looking at how she feels and seeing this cup like it's a giant. That's a giant cup. That's a giant cup. It's more like a bowl than a cup, I swear. But she's looking at it, and she's kind of like, she knows how she feels, but she's also looking at it like, this is not, like, I can't drink this down in one gulp. Like, this is a lot of emotion to deal with, and there's a lot going on here. I'm feeling like there's a hitch. I really feel like there's a hitch. Because the passion is there. The Lover's card, it feels like there's a connection. There's an agreed upon connection. I feel like each of you know how the other feels. Like, but the Lover's card, if a physical moment didn't happen, a verbal moment happens where you explain to each other, or you're very flat out obvious with each other how you feel. Like, there's no mincing of, like, you both know how you feel. The Queen of Cups right after is kind of like, oh boy, there's a hitch. I have a lot of feelings here. I'm not sure what I should be doing about this. And that's for this reading. And there's other cards affecting this, just to be fair. Because I know some people might be like, well, the two of those together should be very good. Well, what we got going on around it, I don't know. Because I'm feeling there's a hitch. I got to be honest with you. Especially when I'm looking at the past here. If this is connecting with you, you know what that hitch is. Because it's been keeping you at bay this whole time. There's something that, there's a complication here. You've got the Seven of Wands with divine guidance in the past. Like, you've been keeping away from the situation. You've been keeping yourself at bay. You've been trying to not move forward, or trying to not make it obvious how you feel. And I'm getting here in the center, like, something happens. If it's not a physical moment, it's a clear moment. You both are on the same page. You both know how you feel. And Cancer, I'm connecting with your energy, so I'm feeling like, I don't know about your partner, really. Well, yeah, we will in a second. You're definitely looking at it like that hitch, like, oh boy. Like, it's not minimal. It feels big to me. Like, it's not as simple just, you know, oh, we can just do this. No, I feel like it's something to really be dealt with. Your potential partner, has the Eight of Swords. That energy is heavy. It's also, like, it literally just fell out of my hand, but because I'm feeling it's hard for them to grasp, like, what, they're feeling completely confined. They're feeling there's nothing they can do. They know, it's almost like you know how they feel, they know how they feel, and they know how you feel, if I didn't make that complicated enough. They know how you feel. That's the big thing. They know how you feel, and it matches how they feel. And they're not feeling good about that, because they're like, I feel like it's worse. Up until this moment of the Lover's card, they could just kind of, like, scoff it away, like, yeah, I have feelings, but they don't, so it's okay. But now that they know you have feelings that match their own, I feel like that's really got there's a lot of pressure here. A lot of pressure. Because it's whatever the hitch is, it seems to be blocking the situation. And I feel like they have to be the one to correct that. And I feel like knowing how you feel and it matches how they feel, now they're really faced with the question, are they going to fix the situation, or are they going to let this opportunity pass them by? Because they're actually at that decision moment. Do they want to do something to correct the situation because they're unhappy? Are they unhappy? I don't know if they're unhappy. No, I don't want to say they're unhappy. Are they going to do something about the situation to move forward with you where their passion seems to be going? Or are they going to walk away from it and keep what they currently have? Because I'm not convinced they're unhappy. I'm just getting it's kind of like life is going along at a 5 and you're a 12. Like the median, like, you know, the 0 to 10 scale there, 1 to 10 scale, whatever. The 5, they're in the middle. Life's okay. There's nothing to complain about. It could be better, could be worse. It's fine. Everything's like at this even keel. But then you affect them, and they realize that they could, like, their feelings for you are reciprocated, and now they're like, do I stay at this 5, this dependable, safe 5, this committed 5, whatever that is, or do I let go of the 5 and try for that 12? And if I go for that 12, what type of obstacles am I going to get by actually going for the 12? I hope that makes sense. I know it may sound like a weird analogy, but because I'm getting that's a lot of anxiety. Now, you have a couple cards here, and we haven't gotten to the top card yet, which I feel is very strong. The top and bottom cards are very strong here, even though there are minor arcana, but there's a lot of color going on in this reading here. You're standing in the spot of the 3 of Cups. Now, this can be a very interesting card, depending on what it is. Whatever the hitch is, whatever that is, you're aware that this person desires you, and I feel like you're looking at it like you can overcome this challenge. You're feeling like you're desired enough that this person may overcome this challenge. Your thoughts are the Emperor, though. So even though you're feeling pretty good, you're feeling like, you know, you're very desired, you're feeling like you're the most appealing, like you know how this person feels about you. And due to the hitch and what's going on with the situation, the fact that it's come forward to this point, you're realizing that's something significant. Your thoughts are with the Emperor, though. So even though you're feeling that way, you're feeling very adored, very sought out, you're also looking at it in a contrasting view in the sense of like, yeah, it feels good to be loved and desired, but there's a strong hitch here. It's going back to that Queen of Cups energy with this Emperor. Like, you're thinking it out, you're just like, how can this really be okay? Can this really be overcome? What is that going to take? What type of commitment for me will that take? What does the other person have to do? The Emperor makes me feel like you're looking at it very rational and very, like you're trying to take your emotions out of it. Like for things to actually move forward, you're looking at it very analytically. Like what actually needs to happen for this to move forward. And this is where we're getting the top and bottom cards. The bottom card especially is the 6 of Swords. Like you're like, maybe this is really irrational. This just is not going to happen. Maybe I should walk away before it becomes a real mess. Because you're at the bottom here with the 6 of Swords. And I feel like even though you both seem to be knowing where you stand, I'm feeling like you might be pulling back, and you might be feeling like, you know, it's better if I just kind of walk away from this. I'm also seeing at the top here the 5 of Cups. I do feel like you're trying to pull back, but I also feel like you're kind of like second guessing yourself. Like, am I making the right decision? Because your heart is pulling you towards this person. Your heart seems to be saying, "So what about the hitch? Move forward." But your head is going, I don't think this is. I don't know how this could work out. I don't know how this could really work out. There's like a dual battle going on in your head, is what I'm feeling. Especially because like your thoughts, like the 6 seems to go with the Emperor. To be honest with you, I should walk away. This isn't going to work out. This seems like this is going to be a train wreck. Bad idea. Bad idea. But even though you're trying to go that way analytically, emotionally, your heart is going like, oh, should I really walk away? I feel so desired and so loved. I don't really want to, but I don't know. Should I try anyway? Like, should I give it a shot? It's very like hot and cold here to me. And I feel like you're having a real hard time deciding what you need to do. But I am noticing still, the other person seems like there's nothing. They feel like they can't do anything. But I feel like it is pressure on them to realize it's one of those situations where no answer is still an answer. Like, for example, are you going to get on the boat or not? If you just stand there and don't answer, even though you're not giving an answer, you're effectively not getting on the boat, so the boat's leaving without you, and you're choosing to not go. That's still a choice. It may be a passive way of handling it, but it's still a choice. And I'm getting that they realize this. If they go forward with it, they're actively going for it, but if they don't move on it, they're still making the choice to not move on it. They're still making the choice to let it go. Even though it's a passive way to handle it, it's still making a choice. And I'm getting what goes forward here is the Three of Wands with the safe home protection. I feel like both of you are sticking with what you feel you know and what you feel safe with, because the Three of Wands makes me feel like this situation, like you both seem to be moving on from it. And because you both feel like it's the right thing to do, because I'm getting safe home protection, you're feeling like it's the right thing to do is what I'm getting. And where this ends is the High Priestess. I'm getting your heart is still feeling for this person, and you're addressing that, and you realize that, but you're also like, that's not the right thing for me to do. That hitch is too much. I can't handle that hitch. That hitch is not worth it. I can't do it. It's not right. I can't do it. And I'm getting that hitch is like the High Priestess balancing out the good and the bad. The hitch is the bad. The love is the good. And you're just like, I have to move on from this. And you're just balancing out the situation. You see it for what it is. You're seeing the truth of it. And you're just like, I have to move on. I'm also getting with her, the High Priestess, where you see, like, and it has nothing to do with the person, like, you know, with your male, female, anything going on there, whatever. That High Priestess is just talking about your mindset, like, going through it, thinking it out. So you're addressing it, you're seeing it for the truth of it. You have confidence that you're doing the right thing. You have confidence in that. I do also see that love is still pulling on you, though. You have confidence you're doing the right thing, but you're still feeling the love here. You're feeling it very strongly. But I also feel like you're holding yourself together. Like, you've made your decision. Like, this isn't something you want to do. You're still feeling those very strong feelings of love, but you're like, you know what? I have the grace to move on from it. And you're being very graceful. And I feel like the graceful part is like you're not... I don't feel like you're really talking about it. I feel like you're just kind of letting it go under the radar, and you're just kind of letting it... I feel like you're trying to act like it's not there. When it comes to other people, you're acting like it's not there. I mean, if you have even if you have a close friend, actually, I feel like you might also be like, no, it's not there. If this reading is hitting, I kind of feel like you might be doing that, but it might be not because you want to deceive your friend, but just because, like, if you say it's not there, they won't ask you questions about it. But if you say it's there, they might ask you questions about it. And you don't want to go there. But gracefully handling it, like you're just holding your dignity strong and you're just moving on. The hitch is not for you. You're confident you're doing the right thing. The love might still be there, but you're still holding... I feel like you're soldiering on, and you're just like, I'm not going to give in to this. I don't think it's right for me to do that. And you're moving on from it. For the Lover's card in the center, like, that's kind of rough, because I was hoping this was going to go well, but then I saw that Five of Cups at the top, and I was like, oh. Then the Six of Swords at the bottom, and I was like, oh, I don't know where this is going. Then the last thing. Is there anything else? I think we're good. I think we got to it. Alright, so I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.